You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that there is no racing going on in Formula 1 this weekend. We've got to wait another week until the second round of the season in Saudi Arabia. So, to fill the void, let's catch up with all of the ongoings off the track when it comes to the world of F1 here at GP Fans. Remember to give us a follow on social media at GP Fans Global, and of course, hit the subscribe button down below to stick with us here on the YouTube channel for the whole of the season. But here is the news this weekend in F1. Let's dive into what is proving to be one of the biggest sports stories of the weekend, as former Formula 1 champion and Sky Sports F1 pundit Damon Hill has described the match of the day spat between the BBC and Gary Lineker as all a bit silly. Lineker was removed as host of the weekly football highlight show on Friday after a tweet likening the UK government's language surrounding immigration policy to that used by Germany in the 1930s. The former England striker landed himself in hot water over breaching the BBC's stringent impartiality rules. But those rules have come under fire following the revelation that BBC chairman Richard Sharp helped former Conservative Prime Minister Boris Johnson secure an £800,000 loan. So what does this have to do with Formula 1? Well, absolutely nothing until 1996 F1 champion Damon Hill waded into the debate on Twitter. "We can separate his personal views from his professional work," said Hill regarding Lineker. "We are not the Egypts they clearly take us for. All a bit silly." In a way, Lineker the tweeter is a different person. The medium is the message. Whatever. Interesting to see that Damon Hill even losing the desire to speak about the incident as he went on through his tweets. Elsewhere, Mika Häkkinen, former world champion with McLaren, believes that the team's current driver Lando Norris is on the same level as Max Verstappen. Häkkinen has been very outspoken at the start of this season about his former team and a number of others on the grid, and the Finnish driver has a wonderfully upbeat attitude towards the Woking-based team's driver Norris. "He's super talented, no question about it," said the two-time world champion regarding the 23-year-old. "He's on the same level as Leclerc, Verstappen and Sainz. He's on a very high level speed-wise." However, Häkkinen does not hold the same optimism for the team as a whole after a poor pre-season testing period and opening weekend of the season off the back of a stumbling 2022 campaign, saying the expectations for the team are very low and at least 2 years away from competing up at the front of the grid like Aston Martin has shown at the start of this season. And finally, NASCAR driver Chase Briscoe is determined to learn as much as possible from his really cool link-up with Jenson Button at the Circuit of the Americas as the former F1 world champion gets set to make his NASCAR debut. Button's debut was confirmed earlier this week, with the 2009 Formula 1 world champion set to get behind the wheel of the number 15 Rick Ware Racing Ford Mustang, supported by Stewart Haas Racing. Joining Button on the grid is the 2007 F1 champion Kimi Räikkönen. Briscoe will act as Button's teammate in NASCAR, and the number 14 Mustang driver expressed his high expectations of the former McLaren man. "Truthfully, I think on the road course side, he's going to be able to bring a lot to the table," said Briscoe. "Last year, I kind of did that in a driver swap with Haas F1 drivers Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen. They only ran for like 5 laps apiece at the Charlotte Oval. They were within a second of what I was running at pretty much 100%. So those guys are such unbelievable road racers that Jenson is going to bring a lot to the table just as far as things to look for and maximise." Now, I'm not sure that Jenson Button's NASCAR is going to have a double diffuser to help him get ahead in the series, like he did, of course, when he won the world title with Brawn Racing in Formula 1, but we'll see how he does in America. We will, of course, be starting our build-up next week to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as we try to see if anybody can catch the Red Bulls, if Ferrari's reliability problems from last year will continue into the second race of the season as they did in the first, and can Mercedes claw back against the Ferraris and the Red Bulls, and Aston Martin too, the surprise package this season so far. There's a long way to go just yet. Remember gpfans.com, GPFans Global across social media for all of your F1 news. And of course, give us a click down below to subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with all notifications when a new video drops.